America great again.
What kind of a country do we want to have?
I think climate change is real.
I think we need to be able to have that policy debate.
The transgender debate has struck a chord across the country, touching on issues of morality, biology, and mental illness. In addition to restrooms, sports, and medical interventions, military service is another major question for the transgender debate, including whether transgender identifying members should be allowed to serve and whether taxpayer dollars should fund transition surgeries, as planned by the Biden administration. Here is where top 2024 Republican candidates stand on transgenderism.
The left-wing gender insanity being pushed on our children is an act of child abuse. Very simple.
Former President Donald Trump has come out strongly in favor of national bans against biological men and women's sports, and genital mutilation and chemical castration for children.
I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age.
His policy plan is extensive and includes the termination of Medicaid and Medicare programs for participating hospitals and healthcare providers, and eliminating federal funding for schools suggesting to a child they could be trapped in the wrong body.
The Department of Justice will investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks to determine whether they have deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich.
Our children are not guinea pigs for science experimentation, and we cannot allow people to make money off mutilating them.
Governor Ron DeSantis has focused on transgenderism during his governorship, in many ways making Florida the national state leader on the issue. DeSantis has made it illegal in Florida to perform sex changes on children or give them chemical hormone or puberty blocker treatments for gender dysphoria. The Republican governor barred biological men from competing in women's sports and from using facilities such as restrooms or locker rooms in the state.
Girls are going to play girls' sports and boys are going to play boys' sports. That's what we're doing, and we're going to make sure that that's the reality.
He also banned teaching gender ideology and sexual preferences to young children in schools.
Why would you want to tell a second grader that they may have been born in the wrong body? That is happening around this country, and we said in Florida we're not.
On national policy, DeSantis plans to look within the constitutional authority and federal government to try and do the same. The Florida Republican has vowed to revoke Biden's executive order on transgender military service while backing a Trump-style restriction.
You've got biological boys playing in girls' sports. It is the women's issue of our time. Where is everybody? My daughter ran track in high school. I don't even know how I would have that conversation with her.
Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley wants to ban gender transition procedures for children and ban biological men from competing against women in sports. However, Haley said she would not support a ban on transgender military service, but did call out the Biden administration for looking weak to China by having the military take gender pronoun classes.
They are modernizing their military. Our military is taking gender pronoun classes.
If you're a fully grown adult, you are allowed to live your own life the way you want to live your own life, even to go through surgical or chemical intervention in your own life if you want to. That's part of what it means to live in a free country.
Entrepreneur and political newcomer Vivek Ramaswamy has been outspoken on transgender issues. While he does not support an outright ban, he is very protective of children.
However, if you're a kid, it's different. There's not a state in this union that allows you to get a body-altering tattoo by the age of 18.
Ramaswamy is also completely opposed to biological men competing in women's sports. When it comes to his view on the military, Ramaswamy has flip-flopped.
You would not ban transgender members of the military.
I would not.
Ramaswamy then later responded to the ABC interview writing, "Transgenderism is most often a mental health disorder and should be treated accordingly." When asked to clarify, Ramaswamy's campaign spokeswoman, Trisha McLaughlin, said to Washington Examiner, "If you suffer from delusions, you cannot serve in the military." McLaughlin went on saying, Ramaswamy believes the U.S. does not need to institute a ban on members of the military because there's already a ban on serving with mental health disorders.